All right, it's Saturday, May 11th, 12:41. Just started. About 76 degrees. There's a small chance of rain today, but a much better chance of rain tomorrow. I haven't posted in a while, and it's mainly due to just not having any content that I think that would be interesting, but also just the process of going through the videos at the end of the day, reviewing them, figuring out which videos, video clips I want to keep versus which ones I want to get rid of, and then having to go through each one of those and basically watch it all over again and edit it. It's just at first it was kind of fun, but then it started becoming sort of a chore, and I've got other things that I'd rather be doing in the evening time that if I'm not just trying to relax, other things that are taking priority right now. So that's mainly why I have not posted. So I will record, but usually at the end of the day I just delete the videos. With the have the camera going with the idea that maybe I would get something interesting. I think personally, unless it's like something major happening out on the road, like a wreck or something, most of it is just humdrum everyday stuff. I think the most interesting things are the body cam videos. But even with those, it's something interesting has happened. The problem with that though is wearing my body cam on my shirt, it kind of drags it down. It's unfortunately I made the mistake of getting a camera that doubles as a dash cam and body cam, so it's bigger and thicker, it's more cumbersome. So it works great as a dash cam, but not so much as a body cam. I got a vest, but I think I made a poor choice in a vest to hold the camera. I'm not sure what else I could have done. The alternatives wouldn't have been much better. But anyways, that's why I don't do the body cam that much either. Is because it's just uncomfortable, and I don't like making a spectacle of myself. So when I wear the camera or vest. Or the vest, I go in these places and you get a lot of looks. Some people, they don't care about that stuff. I guess I kind of do and I kind of don't. It's not so much that I'm embarrassed, it's just I don't want to be the center of attention. I just want to go into these places and be incognito. But right now I am wearing my vest with the idea that I am going to wear my camera today. Of course, every time I have the idea to do this, I end up checking it out. Maybe get one or two clips and then just take it off because it's uncomfortable, and again, it kind of makes a spectacle of me. But the reason why that I've had a little bit of a change of heart is I've been having a lot of run-ins with assholes, or more than I should be, at these pickups. I had one yesterday. I'm at around 5,000 lifetime deliveries. So I've picked up in a lot of different places, and a lot of different places multiple times. And anyways, I'm not sure where I was going to go with that. It's not like I just started. I've been dashing for full time for about a year now, like I just said. About 5,000 lifetime deliveries. I'm not saying that's breaking any kind of records. I'm just trying to demonstrate that I have been doing this a while. So I kind of know what I'm doing at this point. There's still some things that I haven't done that I'm fuzzy on, but for the most part, hold on. Excuse me. I think I've got a pretty good grasp of DoorDashing. I even did Uber Eats for one day. But just like I said, there's more run-ins with assholes at some of these pickups that should be happening. Something about me, I believe in respect. I believe when you're working, you should behave professionally and with dignity. So that means, even when I'm not working, I treat people with respect and courtesy. When I'm out in public, I try to be cognizant of myself, the things that I'm doing. I'm not perfect, but I try to, be polite and unobtrusive, to respect people's space. It's a 6.7 miles, $3.50. I'm not doing that. Sorry, I'm trying to drive and collect my thoughts, and none of this is scripted. I have to do this all on the fly. So I'm watching traffic. I'm still dashing. I'm trying to make sure I'm communicating my thoughts in a coherent way, which I'm probably not doing a great job on that. So when I go into these places as a DoorDasher, and I see myself as kind of a hybrid. I'm working, but I'm also a customer. Okay, so I'm 650 Whataburger, 5.4 miles. Yeah, I'll take that one. So when I go into these places, I'm there as a customer, but I'm also there working for myself. I'm kind of in a professional. I'm interacting with these people professionally and as a customer. Sorry for repeating myself. But since I am there as a customer, and I say that because I'm a proxy for people that have ordered food. I'm just there to pick up their food, so I'm there on behalf of them, which means I'm a customer. So since I do have this distinction of being a customer when I come to these places, the onus is on the workers at these places that I go to pick up orders to treat me as a customer. I don't know how else to say it. To be professional, be polite. I mean, again, it should be, you shouldn't have to make the distinction. Oh, well, he's a customer. Normally I'm an asshole, but since this is a customer, then I'm going to be different. They shouldn't have to make that distinction. I'm going to finish what I was saying in a minute. I'm gonna put this on, see how this goes. Like I said, it's probably one of those days where I start off with the idea of doing this, and halfway through I give up on it. Let's see how that goes. Okay, thank you. This deliveries to a smoke shop. I've delivered there before. I got to get out of here before I can start talking something. Mistake. Of course, it's really busy. Mother's Day weekend. Mother's Day is tomorrow. I was going to clean off my rear camera. I can do it.
Drive north, then turn left.
Anyway, so that being said, you know, I'm
Drive south, then turn right.
I'm anticipating
Turn
it
right.
being busier than normal. How's that? Well, never mind. I'm not going to go there. So, anyways, I don't like the. I guess I'm going real roundabout and trying to explain. You know, I had kind of an idea in my mind about how it's going to go about saying this, and it's not coming out right. I don't like being talked down to, especially when I'm, as you know, going into a place as a customer. You know, there's so many examples. I remember I was going to start a level 3 security officer course, you know, and with anticipation of starting a job as a level 3 security officer. Unfortunately, I found out later that they didn't allow you to use personal guns. You know, they issued guns, but I'd never bought a gun before. I was in the military for 5 years, so I'm not unfamiliar with guns, but I'm not a gun nut. You know, I don't know all the different types of handguns and calibers and all that crazy stuff. Here at the weight car. You know, so I went to a place that I'd gone to before. Just, you know, brother took me there just to use the range. I didn't really shop. So since I'd been there before, I thought, well, I'll go and, you know, and buy a gun there. You know, but I you know, it's shopping, so just like any shopping, you talk to a salesperson. You have questions. You know, you're not sure about this or that. You know, you want to see what they recommend. You give them a little bit of information about what you're looking for, and you're hoping again that they will give you some guidance and recommendations and stuff like that. So that's what I was doing at this place, and they were talking to me like I was stupid. You know, they were acting real, you know, like I can't believe you don't know this or that. You know. I mean, it wasn't anything they actually said. It was just this a very condescending, you know, tone. And I went to another gun shop, by the way. It was completely different. You know, I didn't buy a gun there, but, you know, they were much more professional and courteous and polite. And then in the process of buying the gun, you got to fill out a form. This one guy was just being a complete asshole. And later on, I'm thinking, wait a minute. I'm there as a customer. You know, because I felt like, you know, I was applying for a job or something. You know, I had that kind of almost like that mindset, And then I thought back and I was like, wait a minute. I should have told them, hey, you know what? If this is how you treat customers, I just never mind. I'll go to a different gun shop, But so that's what I'm talking about. I don't like being talked down to, especially in situations like that. It's like it's just completely ridiculous and uncalled for. Now, if you're working somewhere, you got a supervisor or whatever, still, nobody likes an asshole for a boss, but it's kind of, understood that that's going to happen. There's still a line, that they shouldn't be crossing, but, that's a little bit different. But just dealing with people in everyday life, and again, especially if you're a customer, I'm very intolerant of being talked down to and people being a-holes, And so when I go into these places as a DoorDasher, again, just to recap, I'm there in a professional capacity, but I'm also there as a customer. And again, you shouldn't have to make any sort of distinction. It should be the same no matter what. That's the way I treat people. It doesn't matter if you're the president of the United States or some homeless guy. I'm going to treat you the same way. So anyways, I decided, I need to start wearing my camera, because every time something happens, I'll get back in the car, turn the camera on, I'm venting about it, and I'm like, man, me explaining this has very little impact if I were to post this. If I had it on camera, it would make a lot more sense. And I've gotten those before. I had a Wingstop one that I posted. Of course, you get a lot of dummies, sorry if you're not one of these, but, I'll call you out if I think so, They get down in the comment section, they probably watch 30 seconds of the video, and they're making snap judgments and stuff, it's like, so I guess, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, but anyways, it's better, I've realized throughout this whole process, having the camera and doing DoorDash, it's much better if I have the camera there as a witness. It's just I haven't been doing it for all the reasons I've already said. So I thought, you know what, today I'm going to do it. Back there at that Whataburger, nothing really crazy happened, but you probably didn't hear it. That Whataburger recently put in a to-go rack. It's not too often still, though, that I come in there and their order's ready. Usually, like you saw, I have to wait for him to make it. But while I'm standing there, there's this guy in there. He's an ass, But I think there's something wrong with him, because he doesn't man the register or do any of the cooking or any of that stuff. He just cleans and brings food out to people or whatever. I don't know if you saw him, but he's an ass. Anyways, he comes around the corner and he throws a bag up on the to-go rack, and he's like, "That'll be cold," with this idea that, because it's happened to sit there, by the time the customer gets it, it's going to be cold. And you just want to tell the guy, this happens all the time. Food sits there, in a place for a while. I mean, hey, I've thought the same thing. It doesn't seem like a good system to me. Even with the hot bag, because a lot of times this stuff won't go in a hot bag, and it won't matter if it's sitting on a shelf or rack or cabinet for a while. But it's ubiquitous. It's everywhere now. It's not like this is something unusual. And I've also said this: if you're ordering food that way, even if it's pizza, but any other thing, and especially if you're very far away, the idea that you're going to get the food and it's going to be piping hot, you need to get rid of that idea. If you want your food to be piping hot, then you should go get it yourself or dine in. But anyways, just a very small, it's not that big of a deal, but it's a small example of the kind of things that I hear and I run into, like that. Well, that's going to be cold, and he just throws it up on the rack. It's like, man, where have you been?
The customer requested you hand them the order. Additional instructions are provided in the Dasher app.
I'm not going to put on the camera as a body cam. Justin. It's a little town, or at least it used to be, and now they've got 2 of these shops. One here, and there's another one I just saw recently. It's a little bit more hidden, but it's a new store. There's something else I wanted to talk about. So I've talked about this before. The reason why I'm DoorDashing right now is it's just the most easiest, flexible thing for me to do. The money sucks, the wear and tear, the gas, and all that, sucks. But it's a very flexible. It's very flexible as far as being able to make my own schedule with things going on in my life, and it's just I really like that aspect of it, and I like it enough that it offsets some of the other things. But I know it's not sustainable. It's not something that I can continue doing forever. So I've tried to give myself some goals as far as when I'm going to stop. Right now, the plan was to get my associate's degree, and then start looking for jobs somewhere in business. I was thinking about focusing in like human resources or logistics, but something in that field. That's what I'm going for, is a business degree. And I'm hoping that I can continue on and get a bachelor's degree. But it's possible that I'm going to have to end this early. In fact, here recently, something happened with DoorDash where it was really pushing me in that direction, and I'm still kind of in that mode of thinking. It's just one thing knowing that I probably need to do it, and another thing just buckling down and doing it. 2 pickups, $5.50, 11.6 miles total. I'm not doing that. It's crap orders today, man, so far. Just got that one Whataburger. It was okay. But I was at 78% acceptance rate, so I'm supposed to be getting all the high dollar orders. That actually sort of ties into what I was just talking about. So going through the process of updating my resume. It's a $9 5.1 miles Chick-fil-A. I'll take that one. Going through the process of updating my resume, which I kind of already did, but I need to look over it again. Looking through all these different job search sites, trying to find a job that I think that I have a good chance of getting, that fits all the different parameters that I'm looking for. Applying, hoping that they'll call me back. Maybe possibly getting a call back, and off chance of being called in for an interview, preparing for the interview, going in, doing the interview, and then sweating bullets until you find out whether or not you got the job. Then if you do get the job, that's great, but now you got to go through all that process too. But it's just a daunting thing. Oh man, I don't want to do it unless it's this time. I don't want to just get a job. This time I want to have whatever I'm doing is it. That's my career. That's why I want to try to do the college thing first. Because right now I don't have a whole lot to sell a potential employer on myself. Because of things that have gone on in life, it would take too long to explain all of it. Unless it was security, which I already tried, and I tried again. Last time was like 20 years ago. Lost my job. Tried security again. It's like, yeah, this is kind of why I realized I didn't want to do this in the first place. It's just not. I'm not that kind of person. Thought I was, but I'm not. But yeah, I got a level 3 security license in my wallet. I could get that right now. So yeah, I want to get college, so I have at least that to put on a resume. So that can help me get a foot in the door somewhere that will translate into a career. I'm not going to be able to finish what I was saying right now. This is going to be a critique on DoorDash. I've held that to just trying to give you a backstory why I'm doing DoorDash. Because when I get done with this, you're going to be like, well, why are you DoorDashing? That's why I had to say all that. Try to store. All right. I normally don't have any problems with Chick-fil-A, but I'm gonna bring it in anyways. Making myself look silly. Actually, no. You know what? I'm just gonna take the vest off for now. And I'm checking it out because I gotta go in here and pee. I don't want to walk into the bathroom with the freaking camera on. I'm gonna cut this for now. One of the things I gotta be careful with this camera on, because it's a little bit of a distraction. You know, I'm not paying attention to some of the details that I normally pay attention to. So I gotta make sure I don't make a mistake.
Drive south, then turn right.
Deliver to the wrong door, or forget something. Especially with as busy as it is right now around here. The lunch rush should be over with right now. And I mean, I say busy. I mean, you can see there's a lot of empty spots in the lot, but normally it's less than this. Well, can't really see that either. Normally on a normal business day, a weekday, but being Saturday, Alright, let me see if I can't try to get through this point that I'm trying to make as quickly as I can. So early on, you know, doing DoorDash, you know, it's so easy, so straightforward. It's like, man, this is great. You know, yeah, it sucks that you know, I'm using gas and stuff, but you know, there's all these different things that I really enjoy doing it, and it still does beat the hell out of a normal job, especially my last job, the Amazon job. But the thing that's really starting to get them under, well, traffic, of course, but one thing that really has caused me to be disillusioned with DoorDash is the support. DoorDash administrative, corporate, whatever you want to call it, the ones behind the scenes that are supposed to be helping the DoorDashers, supporting them, standing by them and stuff like that, they don't do that. If you call in, you got some sort of problem that fits into a nice, neat little box that they can follow a script, and you know, everything can be answered off of that script, then sure. You know, but if it's something out of the ordinary, something that takes for them to do a little bit of investigation, problem solving, to cause them to have to ad lib or improvise a little bit, it's not scripted, then they don't know what the hell to do. They'll tell you a bunch of gobbledygook to get you off the phone, but in the end, they're very unhelpful. Some of the stuff, I don't want to get way off on a tangent trying to get into the details of, you know, giving you good examples, but you know, I had one here recently where I was basically locked out of the DoorDash app for 5 days. And remember, this is my sole source of income right now. I DoorDash full time. I was locked out of the app for a week. I don't know how, I mean, it was like 5 days, 6 days. I can't remember exactly, but like, let's just say 5 days. You know, I was forced to create an Uber Eats account, which, by the way, that was a whole mess. But, you know, I was able to Uber Eats one day to try to offset some of that income that I lost. And again, I don't want to go off on a tangent talking about Uber Eats because they're even worse. Yeah, I mean, I talked to probably half a dozen different people, including a supervisor, supposedly. And they're just incredibly unhelpful. Everybody's giving you different information. You have to explain the same thing, you know, these simple concepts several different ways, you know. And I'm careful to I want to explain the context more, but you know, I don't want to be accused of being racist and all this stuff. But I'm just going to go ahead and say, you know, these people, they're not in this country. I don't know what country they're operating out of. All I can do is guess that it's India. You know, so they're, even though they speak English, there's still a cultural and language barrier there. you know. But I think the biggest thing is they have absolutely no skin in the game. They're not here, you know. And anybody, most people, most normal, sensible people, they agree with anything. When you're trying to deal with customer service or something, and you're talking to somebody overseas, it's very frustrating, you know. So yeah, you know, I talk like, you know, half a dozen different people and more. They're all giving me different bits of information, and in the end, you know, I basically, you know, had to solve the problem on my own. You know, again, I'm trying not to get into the details. I had to figure out on my own what happened, and pretty much had to figure out on my own how to solve the problem, which it wasn't really so much of a solution as just kind of waiting things out, you know, so to speak. And I've had many other issues. I had one just yesterday, you know. Okay, on this one, I'll give you a little bit of detail, try to get through it quickly, okay? Anybody that's DoorDashed before, you probably know this, but I'll explain it. At least in this area. When you get a offer for a pizza delivery, if it says pizza bag required, then obviously that means you have to have a pizza bag, okay? But you have the option to decline it. You know, you don't got a pizza bag. Same thing, like if you get a red card order, you don't have it says red card required. If you don't have a red card or you don't have one on you, you just decline it. Okay? So the same thing with pizza bags. This GMC in front of me, she's hitting her brakes. She or he is hitting his brake way too far back. I was going to fall in behind him, and it would have been a nice smooth thing, but they decided that they're going to hit the brakes real far back, and I ended up having to hit my brakes real hard as I'm trying to change lanes. Oh man, people. I'll finish what I was saying in just a second. I got to concentrate. So anyways, so I got an order for a Pizza Hut that I've picked up before, not too often because it's kind of out of the area that I normally dash in. And the ironic thing is, you know, I got it right after I dropped off an order, and I was trying to head back to my normal dash area. It came over. I didn't really want to take it, but the dollars were decent, not great, but decent. And I knew the Pizza Hut wasn't that far away. So it comes over, doesn't say anything about pizza bag required. So I accept the order. Remember, I picked up at this place before, you know, probably a dozen times, I would guess. You know, and I've picked up at plenty of other pizza places before. And I've gotten plenty of orders where they say pizza bag required, and I just decline. This one did not say pizza bag required. So again, I accepted it. Get over to the Pizza Hut, go in there. It's not a Pizza Hut that does, it's carry out only. They don't have a dine-in. So, anyways, the ironic thing is the guy was loud and obnoxious, but he seemed friendly enough. You know, when I go in there and tell him why I'm there. What I don't like, a lot of these big places do that. Instead of walking over to the counter, you know, they won't look at you. They just keep working or something and just holler over to you from the kitchen, which, again, it's very, very unprofessional. That's what this guy was doing. He was preparing an order. Instead of stopping for a minute, or somebody else that's not busy coming up to the counter, you know, they just keep on working. Again, it's so unprofessional. But, you know, it's like, hey, how you doing? Well, I don't think he said, how you doing? Whatever he said, some sort of greeting, but, you know, he doesn't turn around. He just, you know, he just kind of looks up for a second, goes back to what he's doing. I'm standing over by the counter. You got to pick up? I'm like, yeah, it's a DoorDash, and I say the name. Oh, yeah, I got that one right here. I'm working on it. Just about done. It's a Taco Bell, $4.50, 5.1 miles. Hell, I guess I'll take it. I've already declined, 3 or 4 orders today, so. I'm like, yeah, okay. He said basically he's working on it. So I'm like, okay. So there's a chair. I sit down. I'm just minding my own business while they get the order ready. Here in a minute, he's still working. He never stops. To address me as a customer. You got a pizza bag? Well, no. What he said was, do you have a food bag? I'm thinking, you work at a pizza place. How do you not know what it's a pizza bag? And, I had to make the distinction because we have hot bags and we have pizza bags. I figured obviously he means pizza bag, but I just said it anyways. I said, you mean pizza bag? I said, no, I don't have one. Okay, well, I'll set you up with one. I was like, no, I don't want one. Now he finally stops, and he's huffing and puffing, and DoorDash requires that you have a pizza bag. And I said, no, they don't. What I wanted to say is, in this instance, they don't. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. In this instance, they don't. But how do you say something like that quickly without getting tongue-tied to somebody who probably doesn't care anyways and won't understand? So I just say, no, they don't. Oh, yeah, you have to have a pizza bag and you have to take a picture of it. What he's saying is true if it said pizza bag required. This one did not. So I just said no. I just shook my head, no. Well, you're going to have to skip this one then. He means on a sign, he's not going to give me the order. Okay. All that to say, so then I got on the phone with DoorDash. One, I want to get some kind of pay for getting there in the time that I've spent already on the order. It's not fair. I don't get anything for this. And that's another thing that happens a lot of times with different scenarios. If you've made your way to a place and something happens that's nothing to do with you, you should get something for that. You should get paid something. But anyways, I get on the phone. Of course, it's a whole process. It's a it's a lot of wasted time because of the way they have it set up. I tell them what's going on. They call. I hear the phone ring. I know it's them calling. I tell them what's going on. They put me on hold. They're calling the Pizza Hut. I can hear the phone ring. There's like 3 or 4 guys working. None of them are answering the phone. They're ignoring the phone on purpose. The very next thing this person should have done, DoorDash support, they should have come over and said, yeah, I just tried calling them. Nobody's answering the phone. Well, I was going to try to get some sort of explanation from them. You're saying that this would be them talking to me. You're saying that they're requiring you to have a pizza bag. And I would have said yes. And the DoorDash support should have looked at the order and said, oh, well, this is not a pizza bag required. Do you have a pizza bag? And I would have said no, which, I'll just reiterate and say, okay. Are you willing to ask them for a pizza bag? And I would have said, no, I don't want one. And they would have said, okay, well, this is not a pizza bag required, therefore they should be giving the order. They have, there's no reason for them not to give you the order. So we'll go ahead and process this half pay, and that way you can, get going, and this won't affect your completion rate. And then they should say something like, let me make a little bit of a note here. I know you're probably in a hurry. Just let me make a little bit of a note, and I'll be right back with you. And I said, okay, everything would be fine. I'll finish what I was saying in just a second.
Drive west, then turn right.
Okay, this first one is pretty close. I say first one because while I was in there, I got another one. So I got 2 orders for Taco Bell, and only one of them has drinks though, so it's good. I don't have to worry about getting drinks mixed up. Okay. The first one is, like I said, no drinks. Just to leave at my door. This one was only $4.50. But the other one said $12 plus. So I know I'll get at least $12, but it's a hand it to me. And it says call when you arrive, so those always kind of make me raise an eyebrow. It's like, well, why do I got to call when I arrive? Obviously, it's going to be something unusual. There's a dead, flattened bird back there. It's sad. These birds, man, they get real, they get really brave, you know, with these cars driving around, you know, there's some food or something on the road they want to get to. And, you know, they won't move. I was, and then they'll fly like right by your car. I was driving through a parking lot, McDonald's parking lot, and there was two birds, you know, flying in, you know, in a row, and one of them hit my car as I'm coming by. This one,
in a quarter mile, turn right onto Riata Drive.
This first one, I don't have far to go, so I can't continue what I was saying before I went into Taco Bell for the pickup. I'll try to continue when I'm done with this one.
In 600 feet, turn right onto Riata Drive.
Sorry, I'm just the way they changed up the GPS. This new GPS system, I don't like it. And when I'm trying to look and see where I'm heading, the way the map orientates, it's really confusing as to which direction I'm actually going to be going. And so I was kind of looking at that for a second, because this next one, Supply Station Drive, it sounds really familiar, and it looks like it's an apartment number. But we'll have to just see where this is taking me. Then it's funny, that last one, there was some kids out front playing, and I had no idea if any of them was even, like, you know, lived in that house. But, you know, as I got out, I just said hello, just in case, you know, one of them did and they wanted to bring the order in. And at first they were just kind of not saying anything, so I'm start walking into the door, and one little girl says, "Why are you delivering Taco Bell to my house?" She looked like she's about, I don't know, 9 or 10 maybe. I said, "Well, somebody ordered Taco Bell here." And I just double checked the house number one more time. And she didn't really say anything, so I was like, I started walking to the door, or I think she said leave it at the door. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll leave it here. And then she comes up, she's like, she looked like she was going to take it instead, and she's like, well, I'll let you leave it there so you can take a picture. It's like, really, you know, it's a really smart girl. She's like, because I think you need to do that, right? And I said, well, I mean, it's better that way, but, you know, I can hand it to you if I need to. Very polite. There's always this idea, this hope that on the weekends I don't have to deal with freaking traffic. But no, it's a Justin Cobb. No, it's a Wise County. No, sorry, Denton County. Denton County Sheriff up there. All right, let me get back to what I was saying. So where I left off was, remember I'm just doing kind of a scenario of how it should have went. So the person, the last thing they should have done is said, yeah, let me put you on hold for just a minute. I'll try to make it quick so I can put a note in here about, what we talked about. The idea of that is so that hopefully, there would be somebody that's going through reviewing these things. Why orders are being unassigned, why are orders being late, things like that. And they would look at something like that and, keep record of it somehow. That way, if that store, gets enough of those, that they get penalized somehow. But the point of all this that I'm saying is they should be supportive. The DoorDash corporate, the people that they put in these positions to support, quote unquote support the people in the field doing these orders, they should actually be supporting you, but that's not what happened. Now she came over, she did say she was going to give me half pay. Later on, she says she's going to give me half pay. And then remember, they got a really strong accent and they're talking kind of fast, so it's hard for me to sometimes understand what they're saying. So at first it sounded like she had said that, this would affect my completion rate. But I'm thinking, all this is happening quickly, and I'm thinking, surely that's not what I just heard her say. So I clarified, sure enough, that is what she was saying. And I'm like, well, that's not fair. And I reiterated a couple of times to her that if I can't pick up the order because they're refusing to give me the order, then I can't complete the order. I can't deliver it. So then why would that affect my completion rate? And of course, again, they're not supportive. All they'll do when that kind of stuff happens, because now they're getting off script. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. So what they'll do is they just keep repeating whatever's on their script. So you don't get anywhere with them. They're not answering your question. They're not addressing your problem. And I know the idea is, well, there's, whatever I said, that's it. I can't change it. I understand that's the thought process that they have. It doesn't matter. What you do is you explain it better. So say in this case, there's nothing we can do about the completion rate. What you should say, yes, I understand your frustration. I would be too. Unfortunately, the way the system is set up, I have no option. The only way I can get this unassigned for you is in a way where it's going to affect your completion rate. There's nothing else I can do. I'm so sorry. She could have said something like that, and then I'd be like, okay, because it makes me feel okay. She understands where I'm coming from. She's sort of in the same boat I am. She's empathizing, and it just makes me feel better. But that's not what you get. You get this very cold. You're just a nameless, faceless person. Just a number, and I'm just trying to get off the phone with you. And of course you ask to speak to a supervisor. They can't get you over to supervisor. If you want to talk to a supervisor, you have to wait for one to call you back. So a couple hours later, when they finally call you back, you might be, I don't know, taking a dump or a shower. You're done DoorDashing. You're trying to go to bed. I don't know, who knows what. And by the way, that's exactly what happened. I asked for a supervisor to call me because I've gone through this before. I knew they couldn't get me over to supervisor, so I asked for a supervisor to call me. And that was a whole thing too, by the way. And I did one more order and then ended my dash and then drove home, which was like a 30-minute drive. Got home, was there for a while. I'm getting ready to eat. I'd set my phone down, left the room for just, I don't know, maybe a couple minutes, come back and, saw that the freaking supervisor had called. And it's like 8:30 at night, and I've been done for a while. So, I mean, that's not support. So, I'm telling you, people out there, if you're thinking about DoorDashing, this is something that you need to keep in mind. You will not get support, not proper support from DoorDash. So if that's a deal breaker for you, you might think about that. Now, a lot of people doing DoorDash, I imagine they're just doing it for, to get some extra spending money for the weekend or something. So stuff like that probably doesn't matter to you too much. But if you're trying to dash full time like me, or in a significant way, that's going to be something that you're going to need to consider before you start DoorDashing. All right, I got to start thinking about. Let's drop off. Okay, I think there's a new apartment complex over here. I think that's where this is taking me. Or maybe, no, it's not. Oh, I know where it's at. It's not a new one. Okay, yeah, I remember now. There's an apartment complex over here. There's no gate, but there's doors that you got to go through to enter the building. It requires either a card or a key code, an entry code. So a lot of times these people that order food to these buildings, they'll just they'll have you get there and then call them, and they'll come out and get the food. The problem is that sometimes the GPS takes you to the wrong building or whatever.
quarter mile. Turn left. Turn left.
Car bearing down on me from behind. It's like, dude, settle the fuck down.
In 900 feet.
Speed limit is
turn
30. We want to do 50. We don't want people to do that. You're trying to make your turn and they come right up on your ass, wanting to push you out of the way. It's like, dude, if I got halfway to my turn and say a dog ran out in front of me or something, and I had to stomp on my brake, then what are you going to do? 4213. So 4213, that means it's building 4. I'm trying to find a building number. I know it's around here somewhere. So this is 3 to my left. See, that's the problem. You know, you're sitting there looking for a building number, whatever. You got speed bumps, people potentially backing out of spots.
839 Supply
People-
Station Drive.
Pedestrians
Fort Worth,
walking
Texas,
across the parking lot.
76177. USA will be on the left.
I used to be able to come in this building.
15839 Supply Station Drive. Fort Worth, Texas 76177. USA is on the left.
What's that?
They added the following instructions.
It's Tiffany.
Hand it to me.
It's a guy.
Call in a ride.
Were you waiting on a DoorDash order? Oh, you are? I'm sorry. I saw Tiffany. I saw you walk out. I'm thinking, well, it's got to be a girl, but maybe not.
Oh, my wife's the one that put it over.
All right, let me come around. Yeah, said call me, so I was about to park and call, but then I saw you waiting over there. Like, that might be she was waiting on the order. Yeah, I was pulling up and you saw it's a dude walking out. You know, what these idiots don't understand, I've talked about this before, these idiots don't understand is I'm not a mind reader. I don't know who's who. The GPS showed it ending right where I was about to park. So I was going to park and call. But, you know, this is all happening while this guy's, you know, stepping out. $6.25, 9 miles. I guess I'll take it. You know. And so while I'm out of the corner of my eye seeing this guy stepping out, I'm trying to decide, you know, do I just go ahead and park here? Because the door he came out of, a lot of times when I deliver to that building, I just go through that door.
Drive east.
So I'm sitting there thinking, I wonder if that door is where I should go to. But again, I'm seeing that guy step out. So I'll get ready to park where I'm at because that's where the GPS went.
In 500
And
they're right onto Bucky's Boulevard.
I notice he's just kind of standing there with his arms crossed. And I'm like, I wonder if he's waiting on this order. So I pull over there. So you waiting on DoorDash? He's like, yeah. I said, well, it's a girl name, so that's why I wasn't sure. Oh, it's my wife. And I just want to say, how was I supposed to know that? How am I supposed to know that?